Hey guys, my name is Sophia. Welcome to my first draw and talk video. Today I'm going to be talking about balancing self-discipline and self-compassion because I believe it's something great to keep in mind when we are working towards a goal or working towards any growth of any kind in our life. And the examples I use in this video is a lot oriented towards like exercise practices or eating a certain way. However, these are just ways that I've struggled and dealt with these things, but I want to just remind you and say that your discipline could be anything. It could be journaling every day, it could be taking a walk 3 times a week, it could be writing a little bit every day because you want to write a book, or it could be trying to release one song by the end of the month. I'm just saying the disciplines that I speak of in this was just my personal experience, and I just wanted to say whatever you're working on, that's what you're working on. So that's what I hope you relate the video to. And if you like the drawing, I'm going to be selling it on eBay, so I'll put the link to that in the description. And if you don't feel like listening to me talk, just mute the video, play your own music, do what you want to do. I'd still love if you saw the drawing. So without further ado, please enjoy. I hope you guys gained something from the video. Thank you. Alright guys, so I'm going to be discussing balancing self-discipline and self-compassion. And this is a topic that's personally really important to me because I feel that I have fully gone from one end of the spectrum to the other throughout my adult life, and I still am learning the balance and learning how to be responsible for myself, but also be gentle with myself when that is needed. So I think we can all, use a little refresher on this at times. Some of us teeter more towards being a lot more self-disciplined, where we don't let ourselves rest. We constantly working, the workaholic type of person. We constantly want to be busy. We don't want to have to slow down and, just let ourselves naturally relax like we need. And then I feel that some of us also struggle with not doing enough and procrastinating, not being consistent with ourselves, not keeping promises to ourselves, and that doesn't always necessarily come from self-compassion. For me personally, it's come from, part of it is I can justify it through being self-compassionate, like, oh, maybe I need this for XYZ reason. But really, deep down, I know maybe, there wasn't much of a reason I didn't decide to, maybe go on a bike ride, or I wanted to eat some food I know doesn't make me feel good. Sometimes there's just no reason. I just want to, so I use that as an excuse, like, oh, I deserve it. And there are some moments that is valid and that is necessary, but that's why I'm talking about this topic, because I believe it's a fine line to walk, and I don't know if it can ever be perfectly walked, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try, because otherwise I'll get really upset with myself, if I didn't try. Even that kind of sounds like perhaps unhealthy mindset, but let's get into this a little bit more. So I know for myself, when I was incredibly self-disciplined, it was coming from a place of guilt and shame, and feeling like if I did not do XYZ, I was an unworthy person. And that's where I found my worth, was, for my specific life, it was things like pursuing my spiritual practices like yoga and meditating and eating perfectly every day. And if I didn't do these things, I would have immense guilt and shame and feel like, what are you doing, Sophia? Like, how could you not do this? How could you do this yourself? Like, you know better, like, now that you missed a yoga practice, your whole day is going to be messed up. And now that you ate some peanut butter, too much peanut butter, you're not going to feel good, Sophia. Like, it's over for you. No, not that intense, but it kind of was like that type of talk. Like, and I remember once saying to myself, like, I don't even need to worry about eating unhealthy food because I know that the guilt would be so intense. I just don't want to experience that guilt, so I'm just not going to do it. And to have that as a motivating factor, I now see that as so unhealthy because you aren't doing it out of love for yourself. You're doing it actually almost out of hatred for yourself. I'm saying you, but I mean me. I was doing it out of hatred for myself. I was believing that unless I did these things, I wasn't worth much. I didn't have much to offer. And I had to stay pristine with these practices. Otherwise, who knows? I'd go up, who knows what would happen. And so that's, to me, when the self-discipline becomes unhealthy. Where is it coming from inside of you? Is it coming from a place of thinking of your future self? Like, I know future Sophia's gonna be happy I did this. I know that my mental health needs this. For example, just like getting some exercise. Sometimes I really don't want to do it, and I'm like, I'm not feeling that. I'd rather chill. I'd rather just like draw or something like that. But part of me knows, Sophia, your brain is going to feel so much better. And then it becomes a matter of, okay, I want to feel good. And that to me is a better reason to discipline myself than to shame myself. Just the pure desire to want to take care of myself and want myself to feel good. Because then I have more to offer to the people in my life and to myself and to my practices, to my dreams and goals. So that's where I feel like the self-compassion comes in, because, self-compassion, you're caring for yourself. You are allowing yourself to be a human and to not shame yourself for being human. And you do things out of care for yourself, knowing that this is for the best. And I think it's a very potent thing to learn, because when you're very heavily in the side of self-discipline, self-compassion, in my mind at that time, was just being lazy, unmotivated. It was just not working hard enough. So to me, that wasn't even an option. So, but I believe if I would have had more of that, I could have avoided a very bad injury I got, and just so much mental gymnastics, so much missing out on, going out and doing things, just eating, a piece of cake at someone's birthday, or just like not having to experience all these negative emotions for something as simple as eating a bowl of granola past 6 p.m. It was too far. It was too far. And I believe the benefits I was reaping from being so self-disciplined were great, but I also feel like they were being offset by a lot of negative impacts, such as poor mental health, poor self-image, perfectionism. I was bringing those along with me. And later throughout life, I mean, because of certain experiences, I've relaxed a lot. And in some ways, that's so great and so beautiful. And I feel my levels of shame around food and things like this have gotten very low, which is a beautiful thing. If anyone who has experienced eating disorder, things of that nature, you know, it's hard. It is very rough. So to feel like practicing self-compassion helped me work through that, I have so much faith in it to help. But I also want to speak on the dark side of too much self-compassion, because I believe it can have a dark side. Because I believe, and this may sound harsh, but I believe we need to be hard on ourselves at times. And we need to be a voice of reason for ourselves. If I have just been lazy for days, my mental health is declining. I've just been going out, maybe drinking a lot of alcohol, maybe eating a lot of fried foods, things like this, not moving around as much, just on my phone a lot, scrolling, and not doing things that really nourish me. I feel like shit, I just do. And because I believe humans naturally, want to move around, they want to eat foods that make them feel good and alive. And I don't want to make this sound purist at all, because I am not about that. And it is everyone's right to eat or drink whatever they want. I'm not against that. I'm just speaking on, if we're looking towards growth and development in this realm. So, and this has just been my experience as well. So back to what I was saying is, I feel that we need to be that voice of reason for ourselves at times, where we say, you've had enough of that. It's almost like reparenting yourself in a way. It's like, it's not good when a parent is too strict or if they're too relaxed. Neither, has positive outcomes. But, somewhere in the middle, you try to go somewhere in the middle, take the middle path. And that's the best you can do. It's never going to be perfect. But I feel that it has become very, very normal to just say to yourself, you deserve it. You had a long day. And in a lot of ways, yes, we have. I think a lot of us are exhausted, drained from all the work we're constantly doing. It's work to exist in the society in America at this moment. For some people more than others, for sure. But I also believe we have a lot of control over ourselves and what we decide to do for ourselves. And someone in my position, I know I have the capacity to take care of myself better than I am at times. And to me, that's one of the higher forms of service to this world. If you are taking care of yourself the best that you possibly can, then you are so much more available for the people around you, for this world. You are better at, just tapping inside you, knowing what it is you feel your calling is to do, what your service is that you want to do for this world, your community. And I feel that if we allow ourselves to give into every, desire that feels the most comforting in the moment, in the long run, we're not going to be happy. And that's not to say you never do that. If you have a long day, chill out, eat a snack, and watch your favorite show. I'm all about that. But I have personally experienced when I take it too far, and it goes beyond just enjoying once in a while. It becomes patterns that our brain just wants to keep going back to because it's easy pleasure, that, and who wouldn't want that, you know? But one of my friends once told me discipline is the highest form of self-love. And I guess that can probably be debated. I'm sure we could have some discussions, but I see the truth in that quote in a lot of ways when it comes to overindulging in self-compassion. I think it makes sense when we consider what we are working towards, because if I decide to stay in bed till 2 p.m. every day of the week, rather than, you know, forcing myself to wake up early a couple times until I get used to it, who is that helping? It's thinking of your future self and your future goals. It's trying to make your future self proud and happy of who you are. And you should already be proud of yourself because, you know, you're here. You made it this far. And that's amazing, because life ain't easy. But I'm just saying, if we're striving for more, we have to be hard on ourselves at times and believe that we can do hard things and show ourselves that we can do hard things. And hard things is being disciplined. It is hard. Self-discipline is hard. It's hard to be consistent with your practices, and it's almost harder when it comes from a place of true care for yourself. It was easier for me when I was doing it out of guilt and shame, unfortunately. But, you know, it's a new challenge to try, and it's worth a try. It's worth the effort. It's worth showing ourselves that we are capable of doing hard things, that we can grow as people. And that's what I just think is so amazing about this topic, is that both aspects are so necessary for true growth, because all discipline, the growth is going to be met with so much mental distress and pain, or physical pain, pushing yourself too far, you know, illness. But then too much self-compassion can also lead to illness, unmotivation, you know, procrastination, low self-esteem, a whole other host of negatives. So really, this whole video is just about taking the middle path. And, you know, I don't know the best way to do it, but all I know is that we can try to get in touch with ourselves and know when we're making a decision to do something, where is this decision coming from? Is this coming out of true love and care for myself? And not just myself right now, but myself in a couple days to in a year from now? Is this caring about all versions of myself? Or is this a way to avoid shame or guilt? Or is this me trying to numb or make the easiest, most convenient choice? I would love to discuss this more with you guys. If you want to comment, hope you got something from this talk. Talk to you guys later. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. It means so much to me. I hope to hear any feedback you have about self-discipline or self-compassion, or what your journey with either of these have been, how you go about balancing them, what you're working on right now. I'd love to hear any of it. And I just wanted to thank you guys so much for watching. I'm super grateful, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.